Hey everybody, so I am so sorry that I have missed like 3 pregnancy videos. The reason why I missed the first 2 was because I was in the hospital for false labor, and then I was actually having labor, and I am happy to say that I am not pregnant anymore, and he is actually 5 days old. 5 days?
4 days.
4 days old. And he is the best baby ever. Given that he wants to be with mommy and daddy 24/7, he doesn't really sleep in a crib yet. He sleeps in our arms, so I haven't really gotten much sleep. As you can tell, I haven't even had time to do makeup, my hair, nothing. So I am so sorry for that. But, you know, it's mom life. He feeds great. So if any of you want to know about feeding, it does tend to hurt when you first do it. Breastfeeding, it does tend to hurt when you first do it. And they can give you blisters or bruise you. And he has given me 2 blisters, but in the hospital they gave me some nipple cream. It's called a laminin. If any of you don't get given that and you want to go get some, it works really good. It helps the soreness go away, and you just put it on. It feels like Vaseline, looks like Vaseline, and you just put it on and let it dry for a little bit, and then you can just put your bra back on or a shirt back on or whatever, and within the next couple hours they should be loosening the soreness up. He latches on by himself, actually. Most people, the nurses even told me, have to like really help the baby latch on, but he's very hungry all the time, so he latches on by himself most of the time before I can get my shirt off. And he tries to eat while I still have my shirt on. But so he eats great and everything. He eats about every 2 to 3 hours. While we were in the hospital, he ate about every 4 hours, but I think that's mostly because he was getting used to everything, and he was getting checked by nurses every 2 hours, so he was getting really fussy and he was really tired and everything. And now that we're home, he's not getting checked as much, so he's more awake. He stays more alert now. He opens his eyes, and he has really gorgeous eyes. When babies are first born, their eyes are dark, dark blue, and within like the first 2 weeks, they change to the dominant color. And the dominant color is probably going to be brown because mine are brown. But if they're not, they'll be hazel, which is great for me. He has got a head full of hair, so remember how I said I had heartburn, guys? That is where that came from. So he's very healthy. He was 7 pounds and 7 ounces, and he was 20.5 inches long, and he's just continuing to grow. His skin was fine. He's very soft. Babies tend to be very soft when they first come out. Now, speaking of softness, when they first come out, the first 2-3 weeks, you don't really want to put lotion on them, or at least that's what I was recommended, because it can irritate their skin, because some babies, most babies, their hormones are still trying to normalize to their own personality, because he still has my hormones and daddy's hormones in him, but he's out in a world now, not inside of mommy, so he's developing his own hormones, and he gets rashes. They only last a couple hours. My first one with him lasted 12 hours, and I kind of freaked out, but the nurse and the doctor said that was completely normal. It's just his hormones trying to normalize, and he's getting healthier. He actually does not have a rash right now, so he's doing great, and the hormone rash does not hurt them. It does not itch them or anything. It just scares mommy and daddy. But he is doing awesome as far as lifting his head up. He lifts his head up by himself, which actually kind of makes my heart flutter a little bit, because I don't want him to like, drop his head and on my shoulder and like hurt himself or whatever, but that's pretty normal too. They'll try to hold their head up, and if they can, then let them as much as they possibly can, because the more that they hold their head up by themselves, the faster that they're going to develop. And we are actually taking him out for the first time today we're going to go see my in-laws, and so we get to try out the baby carrier with him and see how he reacts to that. He does perfectly fine with car rides. Most babies tend to be fussy in their car seat when they first come out. And he was not fussy at all. He actually slept through the car ride, so he's actually a very good baby in the car. The only time he really gets fussy, or actually ever has gotten fussy, is when his diaper is completely full and he got circumcised. So his little area is very sore, and when his diaper gets really full, it tends to irritate it. And so we got to catch that really early. And a way to catch that really early with him, because he doesn't really cry with diapers until they get super full, is just check him every couple of hours and see if he's peed or pooped or whatever, if they don't cry due to their diaper being wet or poopy already. Now, because he was circumcised, we have to keep little bandages about 2 inches by 2 inches with Vaseline on it and put it straight on his little area. And he usually gets really fussy about that. The first time we did, he actually got super scared and peed all over himself and messed up his bed and everything. So he didn't have a good day, but he did great with circumcision. Most babies cry a lot during circumcision because of the fact that they don't like their legs being confined and held still in one place, and the lidocaine shot that they have to give them to numb them. He did get a little fussy with that, but he only fussed for a couple seconds and he was perfectly fine after that. So I'm actually very surprised. All my nurses and doctors were very surprised on how well he's doing with that and everything in general. So you will not get any sleep. Well, you will get some sleep, but mommies, you're probably not going to get much sleep the first 2 weeks. I was recommended not to try to put him on a schedule until he was about 3 or 4 weeks old, just because the first 2 weeks he's going to want to be with mommy or daddy in your arms no matter what you do. You don't need to try to force them into Sorry guys, you don't need to try to force them into a schedule until they're about 3 to 4 weeks old, because you just took them out into a world that they didn't really want to be in. They wanted to stay inside and confined in something warm and always be fed and get everything they want 24/7. So they're not going to go on a schedule until they're a couple weeks old, or at least they're not going to do what you want them to do until they're about 4 to 3 weeks old. So I pretty much think that's it, guys. Like I told you, I'm gonna do videos past pregnancy, this is my first video past pregnancy. And again, I'm sorry I didn't get the last 2 pregnancy videos in. Like I told you guys, most of it was just false labor syndrome, false contractions, my Braxton Hicks acting up. I will make another video about that probably later today to explain a little bit more if you guys want it. And I will continue to weekly make these videos, and this time it should be on time because I'm not having to deal with anything. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Bye guys.